Now we've already discussed sole proprietorships and partnerships. Now we're going to move on to franchises, corporations, and nonprofit organizations. Franchise is a semi-independent that pays fees to a parent company for the right to sell a certain product or service. Great examples would be like McDonald's, Burger King, Subway. So if I wanted to start a business, I want to start a sandwich shop in Gurnee, I could find a place to rent, open my business, find the materials, all the ingredients, exactly how I want to make the sandwich, figure all that out, go make my shop, open it, and then I would have to convince people that they liked it enough that they would come by and buy sandwiches from me. The other thing I could do is I can go to Subway that people already like and people already go to. I can go to Subway and be like, hey, I want to open a Subway in Gurnee. Then after I paid a fee to Subway, they would give me help with setting up the shop. They would tell me what materials I should use. They should tell me what ingredients to use, how to put each sandwich together, what deals I could offer. And so I wouldn't be trying to figure it all out on my own. The advantages of having a franchise: first and foremost, the parent company will provide you with a ton of resources for you to be successful. They train management, they have a huge advertising campaigns, they provide some financial assistance depending on the situation. Another advantage is you have a standardized quality. Parent companies are going to require you to sell the same product no matter where your business is located. If I go get a sub sandwich from Gurnee, it's going to be exactly the same as if I buy a sub sandwich in New York City. And finally, since you're getting all your supplies from the parent company, you can buy in bulk from these like pre-approved sellers, and so you get things for a little bit cheaper. Now the main disadvantage also comes with the parent company. The parent company is going to have some control over your business. You're not going to be completely independent. And so if the parent company wants you to do a certain training, you're going to have to do that training. There's going to be fees and royalties associated with the parent company. You'll have to follow strict operating standards so that, like, if we're sticking with Subway example, that all Subways are pretty much the same. And the reason they are is because they are all required to be the same. They all have to operate in a certain way. Because they have to operate in a certain way, you end up giving up like some creative control of your own business. And so if I had my Subway sandwich shop, I couldn't just invent a new sandwich every week. I would have to get it approved by the parent company. The next business model we're going to talk about are corporations. Corporations are a legal entity or a being owned by individual stockholders. Now, stockholders is anybody who owns stock in a company. And so if I had my own corporation and I issued 1,000 shares of stock and somebody buys one, then you own 1/1000th of the company. Now, corporations get very big. They're about 20% of all businesses in the United States, but they do about 80% of all sales. When you think of corporations, think of any like large store. Any large store, any big brand is probably going to be a corporation or a franchise. So advantages to having a corporation are being an owner in a corporation, owning stock in one, is you have limited liability since there are so many stockholders. It's not just you in a sole proprietorship or you and your partner as in a partnership. Instead, you have potentially thousands of stockholders. Two, because you can sell stock in your company and people can become part owner essentially, it's much easier for corporations to grow. It's much easier for corporations to get large amounts of money in the form of loans. And the final advantage is that corporations are generally very long-lived. After a founder passes away or retires, the corporation still goes on. Disadvantages to having a corporation. First, it's difficult and expensive to start up. It takes a lot of hard work and time, a lot of legal paperwork. Corporations get taxed a little bit more. You also lose control of the company. Anytime, if you start a corporation, anytime you want to change something, you're going to have the permission of other stockholders. And if you sell enough shares, stockholders can start collecting shares. And if they own more than 50% of the company, they're generally going to be in control of the entire company. And finally, corporations face much more government regulations than other types of businesses. The final business type we're going to talk about are nonprofit organizations. These are organizations that function like a business, but they don't operate to create profit. Any money that a nonprofit organization makes goes to paying overhead, which means paying for the buildings they use, the people they employ. Any money they make goes to keeping the business open, keeping the organization open. They don't make any money.